Greetings Multiverse, and I'm here to talk with you about a rather unusual topic for DC Comics Gamer. Spider-Man. Marvel. Okay, it's related to DC. It's a rant related to Spider-Man. Now, I enjoy Spider-Man quite a lot. He's my favourite Marvel hero. I'm far more of a DC guy overall, obviously. But yeah, Spider-Man I always have affection for. And I do enjoy the Marvel movies. So when the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped this week, I was just as excited about it as the entire internet was. I'm a big fan of Spider-Man 1 and 2, so particularly seeing Alfred Molina back as Dr. Octopus really excited me. But nevertheless, I do have something itching in the back of my mind saying this is not quite what I want. I hate to have a go at Marvel on a DC channel. This is all very tribal. I don't like it. Warner Brothers make many mistakes, and having Marvel get to the multiverse first before The Flash is out is a stupid move. But again, Marvel have done pretty much what they've always done with DC stuff, which was bring out something very similar before it. I'm thinking Batman v Superman and bringing out or destroying Captain America 3 in order to turn it into a Civil War Avengers movie. And it was quite blatantly brought out to counter Batman v Superman. I feel something similar is happening with Spider-Man. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they're so threatened by The Flash doing multiverse, but I think it has something to do with Batman. That's the main thing. But something about the way Spider-Man is doing its multiverse, is particularly its nostalgia stuff, is sticking with me in a way that The Flash isn't. Like specifically with Michael Keaton coming back as Batman and Supergirl on it. The Flash I am totally willing to accept and get excited about Michael Keaton back as Batman and Sasha Calle as Supergirl. But having Alfred Molina, possibly Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, and a few other possible characters, it feels unearned. That's the thing. That's what I'm getting at with this. Something about Spider-Man No Way Home is affecting me in a way that The Flash isn't. I'm still excited about The Flash, but I'm kind of less excited about No Way Home now, because it does feel unearned having Alfred Molina and we'll assume Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin, Doc Ock in there. And the reason it feels unearned is because Spider-Man in the MCU so far has not introduced Norman Osborn or Otto Octavius or most of the other Sinister Six in any way. They haven't even mentioned Norman Osborn, they haven't mentioned Oscorp, the Oscorp building is not standing in New York, they have not got other characters playing those roles, they have not mentioned them in any way. And yet they're bringing the characters in from the previous movies, no less. It feels like they're deliberately playing and just pillaging nostalgia. That's what it feels like. It feels that they are taking people's nostalgia for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man characters. Sam Raimi, of course, is doing the next multiverse movie, the Doctor Strange 2 movie, so there's probably going to be some connection there. But they're sort of almost weaponizing them and using them as an excuse to bring in Doc Ock and Green Goblin, two of the biggest Spider-Man villains out there, and yet they're not doing them justice. They're just taking them from the other movies, instead of taking the time to introduce their own. And this is where we get to The Flash. The Flash is sort of doing the same thing on a surface level. It's bringing in Michael Keaton back as Batman after 20 plus years, and it's introducing Sasha Calle as Supergirl, even though she's not a Flash character, but it's better in my mind. This is going to be a little bit hard to explain, but basically the reason that is not annoying me as much as the Spider-Man stuff is because Batman already exists in the Flash's universe, in the DCEU. He is in the movie, in fact. Ben Affleck is in the Flash movie. So when the Flash goes to an alternate universe and meets Michael Keaton's Batman, he has a frame of reference. We have a frame of reference. I mean, yes, I know it's Batman. It's an alternate Batman. It's an alternate version of a character we already have and know. They're not just pulling in Michael Keaton's Batman into the DCEU. And likewise, Sasha Calle's Supergirl is a brand new character, so she might as well just be a character in the movie. She's going to be the new DCEU Supergirl. She's not taken from anywhere else. So that is totally fine too. But the Michael Keaton one, yes, Batman already exists. So it's an alternate version of a character we know. Whereas the Spider-Man ones are just pulling in old characters. They're not taking the time to introduce them, to get us attached to them, to make a really cool Doc Ock story like the Spider-Man PS4 game did really, really well. It's just literally pulling in old movie characters and really big names. If it was just Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's perhaps, I wouldn't actually have a problem with that. That would actually be quite cool. If they were not the movie villains and they were introducing the proper Doc Ock and Green Goblin for the MCU, then I also wouldn't have a problem with that. I would have a quibble about them being all thrown into the same movie, as that was massive overload, but at the same time, I would not necessarily have a problem with specifically having them in. But the fact that it's literally the ones from the Sam Raimi movies coming back, and Electro, let's not forget it's Jamie Foxx, it's just literally pulling from the past movies rather than bothering to introduce their own. Whereas The Flash has introduced their own. They have a Batman. This is an alternate version of Batman. So that's fine. Likewise, even the Flash TV series understands this. When they bring in a character like the Trickster from an alternate universe, we have already had the Trickster on the show. Played by Mark Hamill, of course. Brilliant. And when they do have alternate universe characters, they're usually not, say, Batman, or they're a brand new character that has been introduced on the show, played by a different actor than anyone we know before. It's just not just bringing in someone for the hell of it. Even Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of understood that. It either brought them in just as a cameo or had alternate versions of the Flash coming back, specifically Ezra Miller in the best scene from Crisis on Infinite Earths. But it's still Flash meeting Flash. It's alternate universe Flashes, just like it's alternate universe Batman. That is fine. It's a character we understand. Spider-Man No Way Home is just pulling in movie characters. It is our nostalgia, it's our knowledge of these characters they are pulling in. Tom Holland's Spider-Man won't know who these characters are and has to relearn about them again. That sort of stops him from having these iconic villains in the MCU, or at least having the same impact if they ever decide to introduce Green Goblin properly into the MCU as a new actor. It won't quite have the same impact because he will know who Green Goblin or Doc Ock is, or Electro. So that is why No Way Home is kind of pissing me off. It's kind of messed with my head and ticked me off a little bit because it's kind of what I wanted, and I think it's going to be a fun movie, but also it kind of isn't. It's doing the same Michael Keaton Batman thing, but it's not doing it with the respect of the character. It's not doing it with the respect of the movie. It's not doing it with the respect of any of them in the MCU. It's just literally playing on nostalgia. Whereas Michael Keaton's Batman, being in The Flash, at least makes sense because we already have a Batman to play off of. He's even in the movie, so it literally will have a full frame of reference just within the movie itself. Will we have Norman Osborn introduced in No Way Home normally, or Otto Octavius? Probably not. In fact, I'm prepared to bet a sizable amount of money that we won't. I think they're just being pulled alongside the other Spider-Men. That kind of sucks, to be straight honest. I'm excited for the movie, but my excitement has gone down, not up, by that trailer. I feel like I'm the only one who's like almost screaming into the void about the No Way Home trailer, which is my most anticipated Marvel movie by far. Apart from June and No Time to Die, it's probably my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. So it's really annoying that I have this attitude towards it, because I don't like what they're doing with these characters. With these big, big characters. I wanted Tom Holland's Spider-Man to meet Doc Ock and Norman Osborn, or at least have them set up ages ago. He's had 5 movies, not including No Way Home. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has been in 5 movies, and 2 of them his own. And yet there hasn't been a whisper of his biggest villains. It doesn't feel like they've bothered to set them up in any way. They've done some setting up, but it's not towards Doc Ock or Green Goblin. And that's really annoying. Really, really, really annoying, in fact. Because I want to see those characters again. I love them. I want to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man face a real challenge like that. Or at least a real villain like that. But as usual, MCU's got a villain problem. Always. Always seems to have. They never seem to know what to do, what cards to play, what characters to keep. I'm still going to be excited for them, but to sum up, Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm excited for it, but I do not like what it's doing regarding its villains and pulling them in for past movies, whereas with The Flash, I'm excited for that, and I'm happy for them to do Michael Keaton's Batman, because Batman is already a character we know, as Ben Affleck, who is in the movie itself. So we have a frame of reference. There is no frame of reference for Doc Ock, Alfred Molina, or Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, or Jamie Foxx's Electro in the MCU. They're just literally putting them in there from past movies and expecting us to know them, but not Tom Holland. And it kind of ruins those characters entirely. So yeah, that's why I'm more excited for The Flash than Spider-Man No Way Home, despite one of them having a trailer and the other one not. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Am I just literally old man shouting at clouds? I hope that's not the case. Is this justified, this little rant? Let me know in the comments below or on the Inside the Multiverse Discord server. You'll find a link to it in the description below. That's a podcast and path. I'm sorry we haven't posted for a while. A few of the members have been down. Yeah, we'll be coming back with that very, very soon. Leave your opinion. What do you think of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer and Alfred Molina and the rest of them back as the villains versus The Flash with Michael Keaton coming back? Am I making sense? Let me know. Otherwise, like, share and subscribe. That all really helps me out, as always. And check out other videos on DC Comics Gamer. I've got a few other rants. I've got stuff on Supergirl. I'll be having more on The Flash as we go along. And of course, I've got loads of great stuff on the Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I'm looking forward to DC fandom quite a lot. But yeah, thanks for watching, folks. And for now, Multiverse, this one, Flash, R1, whatever, out.
What just happened?